Het komt niet dagelijks voor dat de allerhoogste baas van een autofabrikant naar Nederland toe komt. En dat verklaart ook onze aanwezigheid in deze showroom, want wij hebben hier namelijk een afspraak met Frédéric Banzet, de CEO van Citroën.
En die gaan wij eens even flink doorzagen.
How is Citroën doing today?
Well, Citroën is transforming itself, or keep transforming itself. You know, Citroën is under quite a strong dynamic of image and awareness, I would say, has been for the last 10 years. Then in 2009 we changed our image following the work on the product. Then we launched the DS-line, which was quite a bet or a bold decision in a crisis situation, and many observers were skeptical to see us going in the premium territory, and we managed to succeed. It's 20% of our sales in 2012, and that's an average because there are countries where it's even more. In Netherlands, in Holland, for instance, it's more. It's 24% of our private cars. On the C-line, which is the other part of the equation, we're also transforming the line. The success we had with the DS-line, we want to replicate it with the rest of the range. The design of the C-line cars is going to be very neat, very modern, but expressing simplicity at the same time of design, with inspiration on, I would say, Northern Europe countries in terms of design. And that gives a very strong personality to the car, but very different from the DS.
Is Europe maybe no longer the base market?
Europe is clearly our home market, and we need to be strong in Europe. But the strategy is clearly to become more international and less dependent over Europe, because the growth of the car market is going to come from outside Europe. And a large majority of that growth is going to come from Asia, and especially China.
I was a bit surprised to hear that the Wild Rubis concept isn't destined for Europe. But if the car is successful in China, does that mean that it will eventually come to Europe maybe?
There will be an SUV launched at the end of 2014 or early 2015 in China first, which will not be in Europe originally. Then we'll see. But one day there will be a DS SUV in Europe as well.
Is Citroën looking at Holland as us being a leading country for emission technologies?
Yes, from that perspective, definitely yes. We use Holland as a benchmark for emissions. With some difficulties is that the way the taxes are structured means sometimes that a car is going to be successful only in Netherlands and perhaps less successful elsewhere because it would be too expensive. I mentioned the C4 Picasso to be at 98 grams or 4.2 liter. It's quite a record. Nevertheless, it doesn't offer the best bike-tailing percentage in your country.
Citroën has been very successful in the WRC, in rallying. You're moving to WTCC. That's a big switch. What's the philosophy behind the switch?
Well, two or three key objectives behind. One is the fact that Sebastién Loeb is clearly an ambassador for the brand. He's probably one of the most well-known racing drivers in the world, and he wanted to remain active, and therefore we built together the project of WTCC. WTCC is also completely consistent with our strategy of internationalization, which I was describing, to depend less about Europe and being more international, because a number of races in WTCC are outside Europe, especially in China.
Does it mean that you go now to WTCC, that there will be more street versions with a sporty character, or the racing models? Will maybe the DS4 Racing come eventually, because there was a concept?
There was a concept. Up until now we didn't find the proper equation to have the normal car or production car, because we've got to make choices. Having said that, it doesn't mean never. And we might have other sporty versions, yes.
You expect Sebastién Loeb and Yvan Muller to be successful immediately, or do you give him some time?
Well, if we're in motorsports, it's to win. Obviously, it would be pretentious to say that we're going to win from the first year. So the answer is I don't know, because it's such a big change between our experience in WRC and WTCC that I don't know.
We get a lot of questions of our readers that don't really understand the relationship between PSA and Toyota, GM, because you have collaborations with both of them. Can you explain who are you working with on what subject?
With General Motors, it's more than a simple cooperation because we sign an alliance. We have projects being developed, especially a BMPV and a future BMPV, both for GM for us, a C MPV stroke CUV as well. And we've got a joint purchasing organization. With Toyota, we have very defined, well-defined cooperations. One is on C1 107 for the moment, and I go on the plant in Kolín, and we've got a joint venture with them, which is producing the 3 cars in Czech Republic for the moment.
To finish, Citroën is in an upward spiral now. Where will the brand be in 2020?
Clearly, I believe that we will be more international. So I would think that more than 1 Citroën out of 2 will be sold outside Europe. And Citroën will have renewed its past success.
Mm-hmm. And will Sebastién Loeb be world champion by 2020?
We'll see. I don't know how many more titles. He will still be an ambassador of the brand because he made a lot of the brand, for the brand.